I welcome news that's come out this morning about a pilot of 24/7 vaccine centres. I anticipate there's going to be huge clamour for this. So can the Prime Minister tell us, when will the 24/7 vaccine centres be open to the public, because I understand they're not at the moment, and when will they be rolled out across the country?
Well, I'm grateful to the Right Honourable Gentleman for what he says about the rollout of vaccines, and I can tell him that we'll be going to 24/7 as soon as we can, and my right friend, the Health Secretary, will be setting out more about that in due course.
The government's advisers warned the Prime Minister that the new variant was spreading fast and it was highly unlikely that November-style lockdowns would be sufficient to control it. Pretty clear advice on the 18th of December to the Prime Minister from Sage. Tougher lockdown than November is going to be needed. I've got the minutes here, everybody's seen them. Yet instead of acting on the 18th of December, the Prime Minister sat on his hands for over 2 weeks. We're now seeing in the daily figures the tragic consequences of that delay. So how does the Prime Minister justify delaying for 17 days after he got that advice on the 18th of December?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I must disagree very profoundly with what the Right Honourable Gentleman just said, because he knows very well that within 24 hours of getting the advice on the 18th about the spread of the new variant, we acted to put the vast part of the country into much, much tougher measures. And indeed, what we are now seeing, and it's very, very important to stress that these are early days, we are now seeing the beginnings of some signs that is starting to have an effect in many parts of the country, but by no means everywhere. And it is early days, Mr. Speaker, and people must keep their discipline, keep enforcing the rules, and work together, as I've said, to roll out that vaccine programme.
And isn't this the situation, that every time there's a big decision to take, the Prime Minister gets there late? The next big decision is obvious. The current restrictions are not strong enough to control the virus. Stronger restrictions are needed. And it's no point members opposite shaking their heads. In a week or two, the Prime Minister is likely to be asking members to vote for this. So can the Prime Minister tell us, when infection rates are much higher than last March, when hospital admissions are much higher than last March, when death rates are much higher than last March, why on earth are restrictions weaker than last March?
Mr. Speaker, we keep things under a constant review, and we will continue to do so. And certainly, if there is any need to toughen up restrictions, which I don't rule out, Mr. Speaker, we will of course come to this House. But perhaps, as is so often the case, the Right Honourable Gentleman didn't listen to my earlier answer, because I pointed out to the House that actually the lockdown measures that we have in place, combined with the Tier 4 measures that we were using, are starting to show signs of some effect, and we must take account of that too, Mr. Speaker, because nobody can doubt the serious damage that is done by lockdowns to people's mental health, to jobs, to livelihoods as well.